Greetings, coaches. It's Sarah Griffith. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about a topic that I am extremely passionate about, and it's an area that I feel like I have a lot to share with you. So, this week, I will be launching a week long best in class customer service training. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do behind the scenes to make my customers feel appreciated and loved and just feeling like they're getting value from the start. And so, I hope that some of the things that I share with you are ideas that you can take back with you and possibly apply to your own business or put your own swing on them. Maybe you're already doing some of these things, or maybe what I'm doing doesn't necessarily work for you, but it may give you new insight and ideas for how you can continue to improve your own customer service in your business. So, the first thing that I want to say to you is that we have got to focus more on people, not points. In this business, it's very easy to get caught up in Success Club points and Success Club numbers. I don't want you to do that. I want you to really step back and realize that every single one of those Success Club points are people who you have the potential to leave a huge lasting mark on the rest of their life. And that, my friends, is a very big responsibility. So, yes, in our world, when we make the sale, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a closed deal, but it's kind of a closed deal. You sealed the deal. You went through the initial conversations. You've went through the kind of the screening as to see if you're the right coach for them. I don't want to say won them over because that doesn't sound so great, but you've won the sale, and so now they're a customer of yours. But the goal is that they become a customer for life, not just a customer like a one time and done. That is not the goal here. You want these people to be on a journey with you, and you want them to say to their friends or their family members, so and so is such an incredible coach and they provided me way beyond what I thought I was getting. And you just want them to speak very highly of you, because that in turn is going to, number one, build your reputation as a coach, but number two, it's going to help you to get more potential clients in the future, because when they speak highly of you, they like what you're doing, they're going to want to share it to everybody. So today, I have just a couple simple tips that I do in the beginning. So this week, throughout the training, I'll kind of walk you through beginning, middle, end type of things that I do with my clients. And it doesn't really ever end, but end whenever they finish a program. So these are things that I'll share with you. I want to get started tonight and talk to you about the importance of saying thank you, because there are a lot of other coaches that they can choose from. They picked you. You should feel very honored that they chose you as their coach. And so what that means is that you need to show gratitude for the opportunity. Some of you really go above and beyond, and you send out a lot. And so what I'm going to do is explain to you what my business looks like. So once a week in my business, I go into my back office and I print. So I go into my business, my customers, and I print out my customer list. I look to see who has made a purchase, who's a repeat customer, who is a new customer, who is a lead. Where do we stand with all these people? Leads get an email from me that's kind of like a reaching out, hey, I see I was assigned as your coach. I look at repeat orders and I say, what type of customer is this? How long have they been with me? What products have they used? What have they not used? What encouragement might they need from me? If they are a constant repeat order, I pay attention to all these things, and I kind of like separate them into who I'm writing some notes to. And then I have a new customer pile. New customers, we'll start with those people. New customers, they get a handwritten thank you from me. In addition, I pay attention to see what did they buy that they don't necessarily have. So if they bought a challenge pack with Shakeology and they haven't tried Energize yet, then I will send them a sample of Energize with their handwritten thank you note. Now, their thank you note, I'll teach you guys a trick. There's always really awesome promos on Shutterfly or other types of, stationary websites. So I like to go on. Sometimes I'll buy them if I don't have any promos, but sometimes I can get really good deals. Like a lot of times I'll get free $10, $15, $20. Like for example, this one was made on Shutterfly. No, Tiny Prints actually. And it's very nice, high quality paper. Like if you touch this, you're like, well, this is a nice thank you. It has a little bit of like foil on here, and it just says thanks. It's got my name on it. And it's just a small little note card that I can write a note to them thanking them for basically joining me. With this note card, I always include Usually I do two of my business cards. My business cards are kind of boring. They're just ones that I had made on Vistaprint. I want to say I got a few hundred of them for like 20 bucks. But basically it says Sarah Griffith, lifestyle coach, business mentor. It has my address on it, and it has my contact information. So I put these in here not because I need them to work with me, but because I'm hoping that they're going to get results and they're going to tell their friends about me, and then they'll be able to share my contact information with their friend. On the business card, I have my email address and I have my Instagram name. That's where I build my business from. Some of you are still using Facebook predominantly, so you decide what's worthy of the business card. But this goes in the note. Similar for this one, I don't use this one actually anymore because I'm not blonde anymore. But this one was a Shutterfly one. It's a nicer one. It's pretty big. It says thanks. It's in gold. I love golds. But it had a picture of me on there. It has my coach information on there. Again, there's Instagram, there's my email. And then I would also, like I said, I would put a couple business cards in and I would put a little bit of product in. Now, some of you will come across the fact that this gets expensive, especially if you're hitting high success club numbers. You're having to send a lot of these out. And so this, if I put something in it, just so you know, if you put something in it, it's called being a non-machinable item at the post office. So by default, unless it's Energize, if you just do Energize, you can get away with just regular postage. But if you do Hydrate or Shakeology or a Beach Bar, you're looking at least $3.70 in postage fees. If you're at this point in your business where you're like, I don't have that kind of money to be sending out samples with my thank you notes, please know that a thank you goes a long way. Do not doubt the power of a handwritten thank you note. So if this is something that you're not already doing, it may be something you can do, especially if you're just getting started and you haven't had a lot of clients, or like you're not seeing the masses. This is actually a really good habit to get into, and it's not as overwhelming because you're not having to write 20 handwritten thank you notes every week or whatever. But I will tell you that it's the extra mile, and this is what I'm teaching you this whole week. It's going the extra mile and how the extra mile is never crowded. So I want you to think about it. Are you doing it? Are you at least sending a new client welcome email? That's another thing. So I write the handwritten thank you note, and in that thank you note, I always try to include something regarding what we've talked about in our conversation. Whatever their goal was, I try to incorporate how I'm excited to watch them reach their goal of whatever it is. So I like to include something specific, not just a generic thank you note. I wouldn't want for them to accidentally post, like say they posted this thank you on their social media, because sometimes people do that, and it said something, but then another one of my clients saw it and was like, she wrote the same thing to mine. So I do try to switch it up a little bit and make it personal, and yes, it is more work, but I want my customers to know that I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to be their coach. Now, after they're a new client, so when they're a new client, they get this, but then they also get an email from me that's my new client welcome. So that report of who ordered things gets run once a week. Typically on a Sunday, that gets run for me. So I run that report, and that's whenever I sit down and I do some thank you writing. However, I try to check every day, and when I get a new customer order, if they're a new customer, number one, right away, I add them to the My Challenge Tracker app so that they have immediate access to a challenge group. In addition, I include a new client welcome packet. This packet is actually 39 pages long, and it's something that my assistant helped to make. We recreated it. Another coach had a very similar model. We recreated it. I shared it in the team page, and I will share it again in this training. But it has everything in here from helping them with goal setting to, learning how to do, like looking at miracle morning stuff so they can learn positive affirmations. We have things in here where we talk about different types of victories, scale victories, non-scale victories. What are they? Even have them like put in here what they were. This is a very tangible packet. Here's a weekly reflection page, personal development tips. I really want them to open this packet and say to themselves like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get started. Like I want them to feel like they have stuff to fill in and just really feel like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I didn't used to do this, but I really wanted them to feel like they were getting something super valuable from me. So that's why I did go the extra mile and create this. I had Megan put our team logo on a lot of the pages. That I don't have this printed in color, but a lot of it is based off of like our branding, like the colors that I use all the time. So I have, and I don't have this printed right now, but I also have a separate version of this, and it's very similar. I took out some pages and I added some new ones in. But I have a separate packet for whenever they join as a 2B Mindset client, because 2B Mindset is different than if they're just joining as a regular customer. So I wanted to make sure that I still had something for them. So I send them that as well in the new client welcome email. So these are just two little things that I do to quote unquote go the extra mile to make them feel like I'm honored for them to be here, and I set the precedence and the stage for the other things that I'm going to do in the coming months and weeks to hopefully add more value to them as a client. So that is the first thing that I want to share with you guys for this training. I hope it gets your brain spinning and makes you start to think about what you are doing. I would love it if in this group you could share some of the things that you're doing as we go through each, like intro, middle, and if you can share stuff. So what do you do after you watch this video? You can share with us, what do you do with your new clients? Do you send them an email? If you do, could you share it with us what that looks like? Do you have maybe a document that you send them, or are you putting them into some of you put them into a preseason group that's separate from the challenge group. But I really want to hear from you. What are you doing and what are you finding works really well? All right, that is all I have for you guys for today. Thanks for watching.